Okay, first we'll go with the curriculum, new curriculum. There is, when you observe here, the total syllabus is divided into two terms, term 1 and term 2. So, okay, we all know very well the plus 2 biology is the continuation of plus 1 biology. So, 5 units plus 1, and from the 6th unit plus 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, totally 5 units are there. In that, the first unit, that is the 6th unit in the first unit in plus 2, which is a 6th unit. In that, there are totally 4 chapters there: reproduction in organisms, sexual reproduction in flowering plants, human reproduction, and reproductive health. In that, the first chapter is deleted from the syllabus. So reproduction in organisms is not there in the syllabus. Only sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Second chapter, sexual reproduction in flowering plant. Third chapter, human reproduction. Fourth chapter, reproductive health. All these 3 chapters we have already completed. Okay, and this unit is having weightage of 15 marks. Okay, this unit is having a weightage of 15 marks. And next, 7th unit or second unit of 11th biology, 12th biology. Okay, this unit we call it as genetics and evolution. In that, we have got 3 chapters. That is chapter 5, that is the principles of inheritance and variation. Chapter 6, molecular basis of inheritance. And the 7th chapter, that is evolution. Evolution, the chapter 7, that is evolution, is deleted from the portion. Only chapter 5 and 6, that is the principles of inheritance and variation and the molecular basis of inheritance. Okay, these 2 chapters we have to go, not yet completed. Okay, we have not gone through this 2 chapters. Okay, after the completion of this microbes in human welfare, we'll start with this genetics. We'll go with genetics. Okay, that is. And next, that is, so totally 5 chapters are there in term 1. 5 chapters are there in term 1. That is sexual reproduction, flowering plants, human reproduction, and next principles of inheritance and variation, and next molecular basis of inheritance. These are 5 chapters. Okay, in that unit 6, the weightage is 15 marks, and unit 7, the weightage for these 2 chapters is 20 marks. Weightage for 2 chapters is 20 marks. So totally 35 marks. Okay, 35 marks of theory and 15 marks of practicals in term 1. In term 1, out of 50 marks, okay, 35 marks will be theory and 15 marks will be practicals. Okay, 15 marks will be practicals. So that is, and next coming to the term 2. Okay, term 2 portion. Term 2 portion, okay, we have got 3 units, unit 8, unit 10. Under unit 8, we have got biology and human welfare. Biology and human welfare, and in that we have got totally 3 chapters. Chapter 8, human health and diseases. Chapter 9, strategies for enhancement in food production. Chapter 10, microbes in human welfare. That's what we are going at present. So out of these 3 chapters, 1 chapter is deleted from the portion. That is chapter 9, that is strategies for enhancement in food production. Strategies for enhancement in food production. This chapter is deleted from the portion NCERT for NCERT. So we have got chapter 8, chapter 10. Chapter 8, that is human health and diseases, and chapter 10, that is microbes in human welfare. So these 2 chapters, the weightage for these 2 chapters is given as 15 marks. Okay, 14 marks. And next, the 9th unit. Okay, the 9th unit is biotechnology. Okay, biotechnology. In this biotechnology, we have got two chapters. One is biotechnology principles and process, and the second chapter, that is biotechnology and its applications. So chapter 11, biotechnology principles and process. Chapter 12, that is biotechnology and its applications. Okay, both the chapters are present for the syllabus, and these two chapters weightage is 11 marks. Last year it was given for as a 12 marks. Now it was changed to 11 mark. The weightage for this chapter, for this unit, sorry. Okay, the weightage for the 9th unit, that is biotechnology, is 11 mark. So next, the last unit, that is the 10th unit. Okay, that is ecology and environment. This ecology and environment, already we have completed this unit completely. And this overall, this unit is having 4 chapters. Okay, first one, organisms. Okay, that is chapter 13, organisms and populations. Chapter 14, ecosystem. Chapter 15, biodiversity and conservation. Chapter 16, environmental issues. Okay, these are the 4 chapters that are present under this unit. But out of these 4 chapters, 2 chapters were deleted completely from the portion. Okay, that is chapter 14, ecosystem. Chapter 16, environmental issues. These 2 chapters were deleted from the portion. Only chapter 13, that is organisms and populations. Chapter 15, that is biodiversity and conservation. These 2 are there for the syllabus. These 2 chapters, the weightage for these 2 chapters is given as 10 marks. So totally 14 plus 11 plus 10, that is totally 35 marks. So 35 marks in term 1 and 35 marks in a term 2 theory, and 15 marks. Okay, 15 plus 15 in a as practicals in term 1 and term 2 respectively. So in term 1, 15 marks practicals, and in term 2, 15 marks practicals. So totally 30. So theory 35 plus 35, 70, and practicals 50 plus 50, 30. So 70 plus 30, 100 marks. That is the weightage. So okay, both will be taken into consideration, and they will okay, and will be given the mark. So okay, here only the total chapter is removed. No subtopics in any chapter is removed, whichever the chapter is present in the syllabus. So that means all the topics will be there in sexual reproduction flowering plants. All the topics will be there in human reproduction. All the topics will be there in reproductive health. All the topics will be there in principles. Okay, principles of inheritance and variation, and all the topics will be there in molecular basis of inheritance. All the topics will be there in human health and diseases. All the topics will be there in microbes in human welfare. All the topics will be there in biotechnology principles and process. All the topics will be there in biotechnology and its applications. All the topics will be there organisms and populations. All the topics will be there in biodiversity and conservation. Total 11 chapters. Okay, no subtopics were deleted from the chapters present in the syllabus. So each and every concept that is important. Okay, that is what we can see here. So all the concepts. Okay, and in term 1 we are having 2 chapters pending, that is principles of inheritance and molecular basis of inheritance. These 2 chapters are in pending. And in a term 2 also we are having 2 chapters in pending, that is biotechnology principles and process, biotechnology and its applications. These 2. Okay, totally 4 chapters are there for the still need to be taught. Okay, now, and next coming to the practicals. Okay, practicals also we say okay, before it is a 30 mark only one time. but now it was differentiated as a 15 plus 15. Okay, 15 in term 1 and 15 in 2. Okay, the experiments remained same, no change in the experiments. Okay, but only is they have been separated. Okay, some experiments in term 1 and some experiments in term 2. Okay, that is okay. We'll have one major experiment and one minor experiment. Okay, before we have got one major experiment, one minor experiment, and one slide preparation, and followed by spotting 7 mark, and next okay, for record 4 mark, for okay, record and Viva OC 4 mark, and project work and Viva OC 5 mark, totally 30 mark. Okay, that is the pattern last time, but now it was changed to okay, one major experiment and one minor experiment. So here we any special separate slide preparation. Okay, and next spotting. Okay, before 7 marks given for spotting, but now it was changed to 3 mark. Okay, 3 mark spotting 3 mark. So okay, one major experiment 4 mark, one minor experiment 3 mark. So 4 plus 3 7. Okay, and spotting 3 mark. Okay, 4 okay, 7 plus 3 10. And next practical record plus investigatory project, and next Viva OC, all together 5 mark. Altogether 5 mark. So you have to submit a investigatory project for term 1 and as well as for term 2 separately. Okay, that means whatever the syllabus that we have covered up to now, in that any investigatory projects related are there, that one will make, and the other ones will make in the term 2. So all the topic, okay, the investigatory projects will be given based on the syllabus that is given. Okay. So total 15 marks, 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5. That is a totally 15 marks. So when you observe the term 1, one major experiment number 1. Experiment number 1 means pollen germination on slide. Okay. Okay, experiment number 1. That DNA from available plant material such as spinach, green pea seeds, papaya. And experiment number 2, that is prepare a temporary mount to observe pollen germination. So experiment number 1 is isolation of DNA, and experiment number 2 means pollen germination on slides. So the the questions for term 1 is fixed. So you have to prepare these two questions, okay, these two experiments thoroughly. Already the experiments, okay, already you are written in the record. Okay, and it is shared. Okay, soft copy is shared. You can go through these experiments. You can prepare. Okay, and next in term 2, for major experiment number 3, that is okay, prepare a temporary mount of onion root tip to study mitosis. So that means mitosis will be there for compulsory. So there is no other choice. So different stages of mitosis, they will ask you to okay, any one stage of mitosis. Okay, and a major, okay, and one minor experiment from 4 and 5. What are 4 and 5? Collect water from 2 different water bodies around you to study the pH, clarity, and the presence of any living organism. Okay, presence of any living organism. Or we can go with the soil sample. collect and study soil from at least 2 different sites and study them for texture, moisture content, pH, and water holding capacity, correlate with the kinds of plants found in them. Okay, that is so experiment number 3 for a major experiment, and experiment number 4 and 5 for a experiment. Okay, and next coming to part B. Part B includes spotting. Okay, spotting means, okay, by using, okay, they will okay, they'll give you, okay, they will expose some slide and you have to identify that slide, what is the object that is present in the slide, or they will place some spotters, or they will okay, they will place certain models, okay, or any structures, and you have to identify and you have to describe. Okay, 3 spotting will be there, 3 spots of 1 mark each. So compulsorily 3 spots will be there, and the 3 spots, okay, 3 spots, 3 mark. Okay, okay, in part B, okay, okay, in part B, that is under spotting. Okay, for term 1, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are those? Adaptations of flowers by different agencies like wind, insects, birds. Identification of stages of gamete development, that is TS of testis and TS of ovary through permanent slides. Meiosis in onion bud cell or grasshopper testis through permanent slides. TS of blastula through permanent slides. Okay, prepared pedigree charts of any one of the genetic traits such as rolling of tongue, blood groups, earlobes, widow's peak, and colorblindness. That means all these are related to the first term 1 syllabus only. Okay, so one is sexual reproduction flowering plants, and next the second, third, and fourth are related to human reproduction, and next fifth, genetics, principles of inheritance and variation. So from this, any 3. So either that means they will display either any flower, okay, any plant which is pollinated by wind or insect or a bird. That picture will be shown. You have to identify whether it is pollinated by wind or pollinated by insect or pollinated by bird. Okay, and what are the adaptations that are shown by that flower to be pollinated by wind, water, and or wind, insects or birds. Okay, in the same manner, okay, through microscope, you have to observe the TS of testis or TS of ovary. Okay, either TS of testis or TS of ovary is placed. Okay, you have to identify whether it is a testis or ovary, and what are the characters that you are able to identify is the testis or ovary. That characteristics you have to write. In the same manner, some of the different stages of meiosis: prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1. Okay, like this, different stages will be any one of the stages displayed through microscope, and you have to identify the stage. What is that stage? And a TS of blastula. Blastula stage is displayed through microscope. Okay, you have to observe and you have to identify this is the TS of blastula of a mammal, and you have to write the characteristics. Like that, the pedigree charts. Okay, the pedigree charts. Okay, you have to observe the pedigree chart and you have to say whether it is autosomal recessive or autosomal dominant, or X-linked recessive or X-linked dominant, or like this. Okay, different traits you have to identify, and you have to draw the pedigree chart. Already that will be displayed, so you can draw the pedigree chart and you can write the characteristics. Okay, these are all for term 2. Okay, out of these, any three, not all, any 3 will come for spotting. Okay, for a batch it will be varying. Okay, for a batch it will be varying, but for one batch it will remain. Okay, in a batch it is around 20 or 25 members will be there. Okay, for each batch it will remain same. For all the members in a one batch it will remain same, but it will vary. Okay, the spotting may vary for one batch to another batch, especially in term one. In term one, the major and minor experiments remain same for all the members because there is no other choice. Only experiment 1 and experiment 2 for that one will be there for all the members, but the spotting may vary for one batch to another batch. Okay. And next, term 2. Okay, in term 2, common diseases, human health and diseases. Okay, this topic comes from human health and diseases. Some common diseases which are caused by Ascaris. Okay, which is caused by Ascaris, which is caused by Entamoeba stylotica, which is caused by Plasmodium, and some fungal infections, ringworm. Okay, through permanent slides or virtual images. Okay, we'll display the image, or we'll place some certain slides or models. Okay, for example, Ascaris will have spot. Okay, will have spotter. That means the model. The organism will be displayed. Okay, for Entamoeba and Plasmodium, okay, we'll have slides. And for fungus, okay, for ringworm, we have got virtual images. Okay, those we can make use of. In manner. Okay, 2 plants and 2 animals found in xeric conditions. Comment upon their morphological adaptations. So that means we already, okay, some aquatic, okay, some xerophytic plants, some xerophytic animals, okay, already that were given. So that means from this 4, anyone may be asked. So one from disease, one from xeric plant or animal, and one from an aquatic plant or animal. 2 plants and 2 animals found in aquatic conditions. Comment upon their morphological adaptations. So that means that there are 3 questions. Okay, from these questions, okay, 3 questions, 3 spots will be, okay, 3 spotting will be displayed. Okay, that models are live. Okay, live plants are available, or models are available. Okay, that will be displayed, and you identify and what are the adaptations shown by that plant or animal to live in that xeric conditions or live in that aquatic conditions. Okay, that's what we can go through. Okay, already all the experiments we have already given, and all the members almost they have written also. Okay, any members who are not at completed, try to complete as early as possible. Okay. Anybody is having any doubt regarding the syllabus? Anybody is having any doubt, ma?
Sir,
No,
so
sir.
totally chapters are deleted, sir.
Total 4 chapters were deleted. Five chapters were deleted, ma. Reproduction in organisms, evolution, okay, strategies for enhancement in food production, and next ecosystem, environmental issues. Total 5 chapters were deleted from the portion. Out of 16 chapters, 5 chapters were deleted. Totally 11 chapters are there for the syllabus.
Okay, sir. Then do we have Viva, sir?
Yes, ma. Okay, regarding the practical and the project work. Okay, whatever the experiments that you do on the day of experiment, okay, on that practical exam day, whatever the practicals that you do, and next whatever the investigatory project that you submit, okay, on that they will ask some questions. They will not ask elsewhere. Okay, from that only maximum they will ask questions from that, or they will ask questions from your theory part from any chapter. There is no restriction. Okay, but that syllabus, term 1 means term 1 syllabus. Term 2 means term 2 syllabus. Okay, theory, from theory they can ask any question. Okay, that means term 1 means they can ask from reproduction or genetics. Okay, so you should be prepared thorough with the theory and whatever the experiments that you are doing on that and writing. Okay, you have to write the experiments now. Whatever you are writing and doing on that, they may ask project work that you have submitting on that. Okay, some topics you select and you do the project work. No, okay, and on that they will ask questions. That is the viva. Here it is given now. Practical record plus investigatory project and record plus viva OC. Okay, it is having 5 mark. Okay, any doubt, ma? Anybody is having any doubt regarding the syllabus, ma? +2 syllabus?
No, sir.
Yes, ma. And next, coming to our topic. Okay, that is phase treatment plant. So when you observe here, especially in towns and cities, a large amount of municipal waste is generated. Okay, which we are also calling it as sewage or sewage water. Okay, if you release this sewage water directly into the nearby water bodies, okay, it will cause a huge problem to the organisms that are living in that water body, and okay, and the water is get contaminated so that it cannot be further used for consumption by the organisms, different organisms, especially the human. Okay, because the sewage water will bring different and also some pathogenic organisms which will cause damage to the health of the human who consumes that water. So that's why the sewage water has to be treated before they are released into the nearby water bodies. How they are treated means they are treated by some specialized equipment called sewage treatment plants. Okay, through with the help of this sewage treatment plant, okay, the sewage water is treated before they are released into the nearby water bodies. Okay, when you observe this process of sewage treatment, okay, the sewage treatment occurs in 2 stages. Okay, this treatment is carried out in 2 stages. First one, that is primary treatment, and the second one is secondary treatment. The first stage we call it as a primary treatment, and the second stage we call it as a secondary treatment. primary treatment and secondary treatment. Okay, when you observe the primary treatment, the primary treatment is also called as a physical treatment, whereas the secondary treatment is called as a biological treatment. Why? Because, okay, in case of primary treatment, no organism is involved. No organisms, no living organisms. Okay, for the processing, for the primary treatment of sewage water, here, okay, there is no requirement of any organism. It is purely the physical treatment. But secondary treatment, the secondary treatment, okay, mainly involves certain microorganisms. Okay, by using certain microorganisms, okay, the sewage water is treated. That's why the secondary treatment is also called biological treatment, whereas the primary treatment we call it as a physical treatment, because it is purely a physical treatment, no involvement of any organism or any microorganism. So that's why we can see here. So the primary treatment, these treatment steps basically involve physical removal of particles. Okay, physical removal of particles, large and small, from the sewage through filtration and sedimentation. So that means whatever the particles, okay, whatever the particles, whether they are large or smaller in size, the larger, okay, that means the particles which are floating, the particles which are suspended, the particles, okay, when they are okay, okay, when this water is allowed to settle, some particles will settle at the bottom, okay, by sedimentation process. So here what happens, it is a physical removal of particles, either large or small, okay, large and small, and from the sewage through filtration and sedimentation, from the sewage through filtration and sedimentation. Okay, that is, and these are removed in stages. So that means all the particles we can't remove at once, so they are removed in different stages. Initially, floating debris is removed by sequential filtration. So whatever the particles that are floating, okay, whatever the particles, okay, that are present in the water which are floating, okay, those particles are simply removed by filtration, okay, by sequential filtration. That means they are filtered through different sieves, so that they can remove most of the floating debris that is present in the sewage water. Okay, and next, then the grit, that is soil and small pebbles, that is the mud pebbles will be there now. Okay, then the grit, that is soil and small pebbles, are removed by sedimentation. That means the water is allowed to stagnate. Okay, we will not disturb that water, we'll make it to stagnate. As a result, whatever these small particles, they slowly moves to the bottom of the tank and they settled, and this process we are calling it as sedimentation. Okay, and this sedimented particles are removed. All solids that settle from the primary form the, okay, all solids that settle form the primary sludge, and the supernatant forms the effluent. So here what happens, we are placing in such certain tanks, and we are allowing that water to okay, stay still. As a result, what happens, the small particle, okay, the small particles like soil and pebbles, all they get slowly settled down and they get sedimented. Okay, whatever this solid particles which are settled at the bottom of the tank by sedimentation process, they form the primary sludge. This is solid particles which are settled at the bottom of the tank, we are calling it as a primary sludge. And the fluid or the effluent, sorry, the supernatant or the fluid that is present above these sedimented particles, okay, that fluid part or that water which is present, okay, in that tank, that called as the effluent. So primary sludge and effluent, okay, two components are obtained after okay, repeated filtration and sedimentation. After by removing, okay, by repeated filtration, what is happening? We are removing the floating debris, whatever the particles that are floating in the water, they are removed according to their size by using different sieves, by passing through different filters of different sieve size, okay. And later the water is allowed to settle. As a result of this, small particles, small soils and pebbles, they settle at the bottom of the tank, okay. And this process we are calling it as sedimentation. As a result of sedimentation, some solid particles are settled at the bottom, that forms the primary sludge. And the supernatant or the water that is settled, okay, that is present in the upper layers, that is we are calling it as effluent. So solid substance at the bottom forms the primary sludge, and the water content that is present above represents the effluent, okay. This effluent, okay, the effluent from the primary settling tank is taken for secondary treatment. So we are not using the primary sludge at all here. The primary sludge that is collected will be thrown. It will be no use, okay, that will be thrown. But the effluent or the water that is present at the layers, which we are calling it as effluent, that effluent is further undergone the secondary treatment. So here anywhere we didn't use any microorganism or any organism. So that's why here only the physical process, filtration, sedimentation, okay, only the physical process is going on. That's why the primary treatment is also called physical treatment. But when it comes to the secondary treatment, okay, secondary treatment is also called as a biological treatment. Secondary treatment or biological treatment, that means this treatment is a completely making use of microorganisms, with the help of microorganisms, okay. And it occurs in two stages, okay. That means the secondary treatment again occurs in two phases: aerobic treatment and anaerobic treatment, okay. So here we can see here. So the primary effluent is passed into large aeration tanks where it is constantly agitated mechanically and air is pumped into it. Why? Because why we have to pump air into this effluent means because this this first phase of secondary treatment is done by using certain aerobic bacteria. That's why they need more oxygen, okay, to treat this effluent. That's why, okay, for the proper growth of this aerobic bacteria, we have to provide oxygen. So that oxygen is provided by by continuous agitation, okay, it's continuously churning. As a result, it is getting oxygen is provided to the microorganisms that are present in that effluent. So that is the primary effluent is passed into large aeration tanks. Aeration tanks means where we are continuously churning so that the air, air is provided. So large aeration tanks where it is constantly agitated mechanically. Okay, that means by using some mechanical instruments, regularly the water is turned out and in. As a result, and this process we are calling it as agitation. That is a mixing up. Okay, constantly agitated mechanically, and air is pumped. Because of this agitation, what happened? The air will be continuously getting mixed up with this effluent, and this allows vigorous growth of useful aerobic microbes into flocks. So that means what is the purpose of providing aeration, or why we have to undergo continuous agitation means because of this continuous aeration is provided, and because of this aeration, okay, it helps in the vigorous growth of aerobic microorganisms or bacteria, which results in the formation of flocks. What is this flocks? Okay, a flocks means okay, it is nothing but okay, mass of aerobic bacteria and the okay, aerobic bacteria, fungal filaments, and organic matter. Okay, and the different organic matter that is present in that sewage water or that effluent, all they together they form a mass or a mesh-like structure, which we are calling it as flocks. That means the bacteria, the fungal filaments, and the organic material that is present in the effluent or sewage water, okay, all they get okay, mixed up, and they form a network or mesh-like structure, and this structure we are calling it as a flock. Okay, and that okay, like that, okay, and such, okay, because of continuous variation, okay, these flocks are developed. Okay, and why, what is the importance of formation of these flocks? Okay, while growing, these microbes consume the major part of the organic matter in the effluent. This significantly reduces the BOD, biochemical oxygen demand of the effluent. So why we are doing all this aerobic treatment means, okay, to reduce the BOD, because the sewage huge amount of organic matter. Okay, if more organic matter is present, then what happens? The bacteria will consume this organic matter by, okay, and undergoes decomposition by using oxygen. So if more organic matter is there, more oxygen will be consumed by the bacteria. As a result, the BOD will be more for sewage water. But here what we are doing, by continuous vigorous agitation, we are providing the oxygen or aeration. Okay, as a result, okay, this bacteria and the fungal filaments will make use of this oxygen, and they decompose the organic matter that is present in the sewage water and converts that okay, organic matter into inorganic materials. Okay, organic materials into, okay, inorganic materials. As a result, the organic material used, as a result, the BOD, because organic matter is less, so the oxygen required by the bacteria is also will be reduced. So the BOD will be automatically reduced. So that, okay, why we are undergoing aerobic treatment of the effluent means to reduce the BOD. That is the main purpose of a sewage treatment. Okay, that reduced BOD water can be released into the nearby water bodies, because that will not cause much problem to the water body. That is the main. Okay, this bacteria and the fungal filaments, okay, during their growth, what they will do, they will make use of all this organic matter that is present in the sewage water and reduces the BOD of the effluent. Okay, that is chemical oxygen demand. Already we know very well what is BOD. BOD means the amount of oxygen consumed by the microorganisms that are present in the, okay, water. Okay, that is present in 1 liter of water. Okay, the amount of oxygen that is consumed by the microorganisms that are present in 1 liter of water, we are calling it as a BOD. Okay, if more organic matter is there, more oxygen will be consumed. So the BOD will be high because more oxygen is required. So the demand for oxygen is more. So BOD will be high. Okay, if the water consists of less amount of organic matter, or if the sewage consists of less amount of organic matter, then automatically the demand for oxygen is also less, so the BOD will be reduced. So here the main of this aerobic treatment of effluent is to reduce the BOD. That is the main purpose. Okay, that is what we can see here. So this okay, bacteria and the fungal filaments, okay, they grow vigorously by consuming the organic matter. Okay, thereby this significantly reduces the BOD of the effluent. Okay, BOD refers to the amount of oxygen that would be consumed if all the organic matter in 1 liter of water were oxidized by bacteria. So the amount of oxygen consumed by the microorganisms, okay, to decompose organic matter that is present in 1 liter of water. If more organic matter, more oxygen, so BOD is high. If less organic matter, less BOD. Okay, so the BOD test measures the rate of uptake of oxygen by microorganisms in a sample of water. Thus, indirectly, BOD is a measure of the organic matter present in the water. So that means before releasing this effluent, after aerobic treatment, it is tested for the presence of organic matter by calculating the BOD. Okay, they calculate the BOD, and according to that, okay, they estimate the organic matter that is present in that water, and if they found that, okay, it is up to the level, then they will release into the nearby water bodies. Okay, the greater the BOD of wastewater, more it is the polluting potential. So the more BOD means more polluted water or more polluted sewage. Okay, the sewage is having a large amount of organic matter. Okay, here we can see once the BOD of the sewage or wastewater is reduced significantly, the effluent is then passed into the settling tank where the bacterial flocks are allowed to settle sediment. This sediment is called activated sludge. So that means once the BOD okay, of the sewage or wastewater is reduced significantly, now okay, the effluent is passed into the settling tank. That means it is okay, it is made placed stagnant, like as a result what happens, all these flocks will slowly settles at the bottom of the tank. Okay, these bacterial flocks are allowed to sediment. Okay, and whatever these flocks that are settled at the bottom of this settling tank, we are calling it as activated sludge. Okay, primary sludge, activated sludge. Primary sludge is at the end of the primary treatment, which okay, there is after okay, sedimentation, filtration followed by sedimentation, whatever the solid waste that is obtained at the end of the primary treatment, we are calling it as a primary sludge. And what is meant by activated sludge means the activated sludge is nothing but the flocks which are settled in the settling tank after aerobic treatment of sewage water or effluent. We are calling it as activated sludge. Okay, what this activated sludge means? Nothing but flocks which are settled in the settling tank after aerobic treatment. Okay, and now what they will do means a small part of the activated sludge is pumped back into the aeration tank to serve as the inoculum. So just like okay, for example, if we take milk, okay, if we take milk, okay, milk, even if you don't add okay, this curd or buttermilk, okay, it will also convert into curd, but it will take very long time. Okay, it will take 1 day or complete 24 hours or 48 hours like that. Okay, to convert the milk into curd. It will okay, it will turn, but it will take very long time. But what happens if you add buttermilk or curd? Then what happens within 4 or 5 hours we'll get a curd from milk. Understand? So here why we are adding the inoculum or starter means to increase the process. or to fasten the process. In the same manner, okay, here also, okay, here also we are adding the inoculum. We are adding the inoculum. What is that inoculum means? Activated sludge. Activated sludge, which is some portion of the activated sludge is collected and that is added to the if effluent that is obtained from the primary treatment, so that it will enhance the aerobic process of sewage treatment. So that is a small portion of the activated sludge is added to the aeration tank to serve as the inoculum. The remaining part of the sludge is pumped into large tanks called anaerobic sludge digesters. Okay, now that means small amount is used for inoculum and the remaining part of the activated sludge that is obtained in the settling tank after removing the water, after removing the water, after passing the water into the nearby water bodies, whatever this activated sludge that is obtained at the bottom of the tank, that is now transferred into another chamber called as anaerobic sludge digester. Okay, and in this anaerobic sludge digester, here other kinds of bacteria which grow anaerobically. So it is an anaerobic, the second part of the secondary treatment, okay, is a anaerobic digestion or anaerobic treatment. Okay, that means in the in the anaerobic sludge digesters, okay, we'll find some bacteria which will grow anaerobically. That means in the absence of oxygen or in the absence of air. Okay, what this bacteria will do means they digest the bacteria and the fungi in the sludge. Okay, they will feed on this heterotrophic bacteria will feed on this aerobic bacteria and the fungal filaments. Okay, in the sludge. In this digestion, bacteria produce a mixture of gases such as methane, hydrogen sulfide, and carbon dioxide. These gases form biogas and can be used as a source of energy as it is inflammable. So in this anaerobic sludge digester, okay, the whatever the activated sludge that is obtained from the aerobic treatment, okay, it is digested in the presence of anaerobic bacteria. Okay, and this anaerobic bacteria will digest the bacteria and the fungal filaments. In this process, they release certain gases like methane, hydrogen sulfide, and carbon dioxide, which will form the gases of biogas. As this gas is highly inflammable, it can be used as a fuel. Okay, and next here we can see the effluent from the secondary treatment is generally released into the natural water bodies like rivers and streams. Okay, that means after aerobic treatment, okay, in the secondary treatment we have got aerobic treatment and anaerobic treatment. Aerobic treatment as well as anaerobic treatment. When you observe the aerobic treatment, okay, aerobic treatment, okay, after the end of the aerobic treatment, the water that is the effluent or the treated sewage water is can be released into the nearby water bodies because already the BOD is reduced. Okay, further no water is used anywhere, only the activated sludge that is obtained after the aerobic treatment. Okay, these flocks which are settled at the bottom as activated sludge, only that will be transferred for anaerobic sludge digestion in the presence of anaerobic bacteria which are involved in the production of biogas. Okay, that is about this sewage treatment. Okay, anybody is having any doubt regarding the sewage treatment?